Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Por ti espera que llegaré. Mi trayecto eres tú. Ladies and gentlemen, bars. Round one, fight. Test your might. Throwback, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else you identify with. Listen, we're coming in hot on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen, okay? You know, we got some new shit going on. Whatever you identify, we're here for you. As long as it's not Demi Lovato. Hey, how you guys doing? How you guys doing today, huh? I gotta be honest with you. I wasn't planning on talking about this until I said ladies and gentlemen, and I was like, I gotta be more inclusive. Listen, if Demi Lovato can cancel Froyo, she can cancel yo. You know? That's a bar right there. That's a bar right there. Get it? Yo. Because yo in Spanish. Anyway, and yo. Anyway. God damn it, Evan. We were doing so good. Demi Lovato canceled Froyo. You can't eat it anymore, okay? Because something about losing weight and how Froyo makes people feel fat, like they can't have ice cream or some shit. That's what she's saying. She's out there rocking it in the free world, preaching that. I didn't even really see the whole thing. I just know that she canceled Froyo. And then she came out yesterday. She didn't come out yesterday. She came out before, you know what I'm saying? Hey, how you guys doing tonight? And said that if you compliment someone on their weight loss, it's triggering, that you shouldn't comment on anybody's weight loss. Hey, what am I supposed to do? Not mention the elephant in the room. Hey, how you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing? I'll be honest with you. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Listen, Demi Lovato, you have like 220 million followers. I didn't check. But how? Why is it so offensive to compliment someone on their progress with anything? It's just like if someone gets a new job or they finish college, something that's hard to do, you know, any accomplishment, no matter what it is, it's okay to compliment them. And you can't get to this weird place where you're like, wow, Tabitha lost 600 pounds, but I haven't seen her in 3 years, so I'm just going to pretend like it's the same 600 or 720 pound Tabitha I've always known. You know? Yeah, how weird would that be? And you know Tabitha wants to talk about it. This is the thing. When people start identifying as stuff and they start virtue signaling and they want all these labels and they care so much about labels and they don't even think it through because, man, Froyo was great. We should have thought that through before we canceled it. Okay? The worst. She's the worst. If you lost a lot of weight, I'm going to compliment you. Okay? I can't even ask you about it. Anyway, moving on. I'm done with that topic. Hey, how you guys doing tonight, huh? Feeling good on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sorry, guys. We are in the infancy of me having special effects.
Okay. We are just in the infancy, and this is going to be something
that over time we develop. Hi, I'm Evan's conscious, and I've been gone for a while. Evan hasn't felt guilt or shame in 25 years. According to Demi Lovato, Evan can't talk about anything.
Listen, I'm back. I had to step out for a minute. I don't know what you guys heard, but we're back. Last night had a show on a Sunday, kicking it on the Sabbath. All right. It was a great time. Met a few more of the local comics here. Love them. Great people. Just great people all around in the place I was. Listen, a genius move to have a comedy show in a CBD lounge. Okay? It is a genius move, and I will tell you why. It was great. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen. The future. CBD lounges. You know how Martin Luther King had a dream? I have a dream that one day I see people treating bars that were once filled with alcohol, filled with marijuana and peace and good vibes. Because at the end of the day, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Okay? And that's what went down last night. And it took me being hotboxed out of my goddamn mind to realize, oh, this is the way to do comedy. Don't get people liquored up sitting in the same seat. That's why liquor and dance clubs go together. That wasn't even a sound effect. I don't even know what else I got on here. I haven't programmed everything. What are you? Stupid. We're back on the podcast. Listen. Clubs and alcohol go together because you get people riled up. If you do it at a comedy club, it's cool if they can, cut loose a little bit, but then they get to the point that they're drunk, they just start heckling. They want to be part of the show. They're hooting and hollering, all right? But you get people in a CBD lounge, and instead of having a 2-drink minimum, they had it set up where you got a table and you got pre-rolled blunts or joints, CBD pre-rolls. And listen, I know you're thinking, Evan, it's CBD. Listen, Texas has some loopholes, all right? Because I've smoked the CBD here, and I'm like, oh shit, this ain't just CBD. Y'all got some of that other in here, okay? Y'all got that loud, all right? Choose your fighter. Da-na-na. Anyway, that's what happened last night. And it was a great vibe. The crowd, everybody gets on the same frequency. It makes for a great moment. And last night was that. And listen, your boy has a rule. I like to partake in the devil's lettuce every now and then. Why not? I'm a grown-ass adult, okay? I have this thing where I don't want to do it. I don't want to perform under any substance because I care so much about doing a good job, remembering everything. I've worked hard on the material. I want to give a good show, especially when people paid to see it. That's what I love. It's the pressure that I get on me whenever I have a show, not just going to do a spot here, dropping in whatever it is, and I'm just working on new material. But when it's a fucking show, when it's game time, baby, you want to talk about practice, coach? Want to talk about practice? When it's game time, you have to give people their money's worth. You got to bring that A game, baby. A game. And so because of that, I'm always like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go on there and get my shit done. And then when I get back, maybe I'll unwind with, celebratory joint or something like that. And I'm in Texas, so I'm talking about CBD. You know what I'm saying? If you start talking about THC around here, you got to be on the lookout. They always trying to catch you slipping. Always coming for you. Stupid. We weren't fast enough with that one.
Evan Lopez, come out with your hands up. We have the place surrounded. This is Texas and you are free to do whatever the fuck you want, except smoke THC and get an abortion. Because this is God's country. This is Evan's Conscious, and I gotta come clean about something. Listen, when Evan first moved to Texas, he thought, this is amazing. There's all this liberty, okay? Everybody can do whatever the fuck they want. But something has troubled Evan, as of recently. The Governor Abbott. Yeah, my voice is changing. Deal with it, okay? I'm a non-binary conscience. Okay? A non-fucking binary Jiminy Cricket at the end of the day. Bars. Hey, how you guys doing today? Listen, Texas is very dope. But Governor Abbott came out and said no abortions. Fucking ever. And you're like,
Hey, what if this happened?
ever.
Well, what if she doesn't really want to have...
Did I stutter? Don't you even think about having an abortion and smoking THC. Because it's not gonna happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. I had to step out for a second. Listen. If you didn't get that, this is the one thing about Texas that I was like, shit. There's no THC. And there's no abortions allowed. Governor Abbott came out and he was like, hey, you guys are free to do whatever the fuck you want, except have one of the most important decisions of your life made for you. It doesn't matter if you made a mistake, if you know you need this or that. No. Because God said so. God said no at the end of the day. All right? All right. Choose your fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back in the CBD Lounge. That was even one of my special effects. That was a reminder. Listen. Stand up in a CBD Lounge is amazing. Everybody was so chill. The comics did great. The crowd was loving everything. Nothing got weird. One person got a little bit too drunk, but it wasn't even that bad. But here's the thing. Before I'm going on stage, I'm standing there. Everybody's smoking joints around me. Here's the thing. Your boy's like, nah, saying no to everybody. Sorry, had a burp. I have a new stop the microphone. Y'all can't hear me because I don't give a what y'all think. I feel like I'm going on Maury Povich with this shit. Be like, my fucking I'm with my and squirrels. Shit gets weird on there. I'm surprised on Maury Povich people haven't let other shit slip that just come out. But anyway, I'm about to go on stage and, you know, they're like doing it a little different. Like there's supposed to be intermission. There's supposed to be this. Comics were going a little out of order. So I got told I was going to go up at least 10 minutes before I was actually going to go up. But I thought I had like 30 to 40 minutes. And it's like, it's not a big deal if you're prepared. But I like to just get my mind right and just refocus, rethink about my bits, kind of get my energy level up. And here's the thing. Your boy was hotboxed out of his goddamn mind. Higher than fucking giraffe pussy. All right? Listen. An old expression, but it is what it is. I don't know if giraffe pussy is really that high, if I'm being honest with you. Higher than me. Normal, so I guess it makes sense. But I'm about to go on stage. I'm coming up next. I was so hotboxed, I forgot I was even going to fucking perform. Okay? I'm standing there just watching the show and I'm like, wow, these comics are great. This crowd is loving it. It's a vibe at the end of the day. And I'm just watching it all go down and I'm like, man, this is cool. I'm glad to be a part of this. And then I hear, the next comedian, Evan. And they didn't say my last name for some reason. And I'm like, oh, cool. There's another comic named Evan. And then the guy's looking at me and then I'm like, oh shit, it's me. I'm up next. And then so as I walk up to him, I just say Lopez. Because he just said my first name. And then he said Lopez on the mic weirdly. But it was great. It was a great room. I loved the audience. They were great. Overall, a 10 out of 10 experience going to shout out to Big J's CBD Lounge in San Marcos. Got all your CBD needs, you know. And trust me, it's just CBD that they're selling there. I tried. I even told them I wasn't a cop, but they stuck to their guns. Professional business over there. But yeah, it was a great time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm feeling good. Doing a spot tonight. And we're just going to keep it moving, pimping. At the end of the day, we just keep it moving. But you know who's not keeping it moving at the end of the day? Doesn't even make sense. We're going to get better sound effects, all right? the cast of SNL. This is something that's interesting to me because I always study SNL, and they were probably my first introduction to comedy when I was a little kid. Richard Pryor was probably actually the first like comic special I watched. That's what I was thinking about the other day when it was like all this shit that the kids are seeing. The first comedy set that I could recite as a little kid was Richard Pryor when he talks about if the Exorcist movie would have been made with black people. And I remember this line he always said, he said, "Get that cross out your pussy." And I remember as a little kid, I wasn't allowed to repeat anything, but I just loved the way he said that line. It was like a throwaway line. Oh, love fucking Richard Pryor. But anyway, SNL was I probably digested a lot more forms of comedy from SNL as a kid growing up than stand-up. And I feel like it was in the glory days when you had like Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, everybody that was on there at that time in the 90s, who obviously went on to have huge careers. You know, Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Farley, they just used to do amazing jobs of, you know, comedy. I love when Jim Carrey would host, but they have been, and I like looking at them from the outside. I don't really watch it anymore, really at all, because they're a cautionary tale of what happens if you use comedy within the cancel culture system. When you decide that we're going to play with the industry, we're going to play nice, we're going to try to bow to all this virtue signaling and do our part and try to do comedy within these confinements that society has deemed appropriate. And that's where you fucked up, when you even start tipping the ship that direction at all, in my opinion. Because comedy is one of those things, and last night was a great measuring stick for it, because there's a lot of different comedians on the show, and we had every single kind of joke said that you could think of. Anything, I'm talking anything, where, you know, racism was mentioned, non-binary was mentioned, Stop Asian Hate was mentioned, slavery was mentioned, all these different trigger words and all these topics that you normally within society can't talk about were all joked about in this venue. And here's the thing. Everybody knew we were all joking. The crowd was laughing at it. All the comics were laughing. And it was understood that these are jokes. And it was beautiful to see, because sometimes you can get lost on social media where you think social media is the real world. You start thinking that everybody is like that if that's what you're constantly dealing with. But like actually being out with people and strangers and saying these things and getting these laughs because they know the context, making money. I don't know if you guys heard that, but we're making money. They understand it, the dynamic in that situation, the context. And it was beautiful. It was a fresh of breath air. And seeing SNL, they're now at a point where it's just not really funny anymore. Because once you cave into cancel culture, once you start appeasing this and you're like, oh, we do have to do all this stuff, it stops being funny. You put a limiter on yourself, you put on the training wheels. And it's like, once you decide you're going to work within this box, you're never going to grow out of it. So not only is everything else that's raw, just to be completely corny and cliche, raw, it keeps growing, it keeps expanding, it goes into different territory. Once you're in that box, you're like a goldfish. You're just going to only grow to the size of that container. And here's the thing, within cancel culture, you're going to only grow to the size of that aquarium, and they're going to keep making it smaller till you can't even, you got your little fishy tail and you can't even turn around anymore. You're done. You're a little fish that dies, and then guess what we do with fish that die? Rest in peace, SNL. Okay. And here's what the final nail in the coffin is. Keenan is leaving. Pete Davidson is leaving. And Kate McKinnon are all leaving SNL. I said Kate McKinnon are all, as if she is more than one just person. To me, she is more than just one person. She is probably the most talented person on SNL to me. Kate McKinnon. She's amazing. And Pete Davidson is great. I love, he's definitely very dry humor. I love his stand-up. And I just think he's overall a funny person. And I think there's people within these parameters that they're just tired of it. They probably are looking at comedians and what people can do with the internet, and they're not getting jealous of it, but they're not getting fulfillment from what they're doing. It's the fucking diet life. They're the Diet Coke version of comedy. And while I think sketches are great, I love skits. Key and Peele, Mad TV, the old SNL. I think there's skits that are being done online that are amazing. I forgot who the comic was. He was canceled. He was actually on the cast of SNL, and he did a Trump. I wish I had searching music. Do I got anything right now? What do we got? All right, that's cool. Ex SNL comedian. Well, that's great. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. Just forget it. Hey, how you guys doing? All right, we're back. But basically, a comedian who was canceled and was kicked off SNL is starting to put sketches just straight to Instagram. And it's hilarious. And it's like, this is what comedy can be if you take the training wheels off and you don't care about people trying to cancel you. And that's the thing is like comedy, it's literally, we talked about this before the context. We were talking about Tony Hinchcliffe and getting, people that got upset at him. We pretend we don't understand context. We don't understand, like if someone is a comedian and they're literally on stage and their job title is what? To tell jokes. And what are jokes? They're just jokes. They're not meant to be taken serious. Now, if he went on C-SPAN or gave a TED Talk and was like, hey, I'm serious about this, you can hold him accountable for it. But it's like if the joke is just on stage, you got to realize what that is. But it's going to be interesting what happens with SNL now. And that's the thing. This is the weird thing and the change. There's definitely been a change in the world of how everything has been done with the music industry, with comedy, with podcasts, with entertainment. Because like if you think about it, way back in the day, it was always about getting a record deal. When you think about Motown and everything like that, back in the day, back in the Dizzy, there was all these people, they would only get a certain kind of deal, a 360 deal, where they basically own your ass. And they would give out 100 of these contracts, 10 would become a star, everybody else became a tax write-off. But you needed that, okay? There was no other option. There was no internet. All you had was the radio, which was controlled by the record labels and the entire music industry. So they had all the leverage. Musicians had nothing. And then it started shifting. The internet kind of changed the game, I feel, for everything. Because it always was about, before, getting on Comedy Central, getting a radio show, getting a sitcom, getting this, and then you could tour. The internet came around with podcasts. The internet came around with YouTube. And you get all this quality music and all this quality comedy and everything, because the people who are on the internet and are pushing it, they eventually break through, okay? And then it's like, I just feel like Hollywood, I feel like that entire machine of what used to be the entertainment industry is falling behind in quality because they're so worried about playing nice within the box of it all. But it's going to be interesting. I just feel like everything shifted towards podcasts. And, the point I was going to make is that SNL, for a lot of these people, what sucks is the goal has always been SNL. There's always been this thing about, even when I was a kid, like watching Comedy Central, you'd look at a comedian with the Comedy Central special and you'd be like, wow, Be crazy to have a Comedy Central special. But it's like when your goal is SNL, but SNL has changed so much to where it's not what it used to be. You got to go out and find whatever that new thing is, that new format. I think that's what stops some people, is they're too like rigid in their goals with it. And then what propels other people is their ability to just adjust. I'm somewhere in the middle because I'm someone who is on the internet and tries to use the internet however I can. But fuck, your boy's been struggling with the idea of putting stuff on TikTok for like 6 months. I had a TikTok. I got an insane amount of views on a video, and I was like, this is stupid. I shouldn't have gotten this many views on this. And I deleted it because I thought that it was like the Chinese virus app. I thought we were all deleting our TikToks. Turns out I was the only one. And then now I just feel weird because it mainly is like kids, and I'm just not putting stuff on TikTok. So I struggle with adapting to the times. Test your mic. How the fuck are you guys doing, huh? Let me know. Stupid. Let's see what this one is. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get a special effect for that. Evan's movie review. And listen, that's not cultural appropriation, and that's not me making fun of Asian culture, okay? Because that's from Mortal Kombat. Choose your player. Welcome to Evan's movie review. Today we are going to be reviewing The Army of the Dead. Yeah, directed by Snyder. What's his name? Zack Snyder, right? Army of the Dead on Netflix. Just dropped this Friday, okay? That's where we are now, Monday, coming at you hot. And listen, this is a spoiler alert of all spoiler alerts coming at you. Spoiler! Get to that spoiler bunker. All right, and we are doing this one at the end of the podcast, just in case you don't, if you want to check out now because you haven't seen Army of the Dead, hey, I understand. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to decide this is the end of the podcast for you. Okay, listen, this is your last warning. Your last warning.
Listen, this is now the point of the podcast where Evan is going to spoil the fuck out of Army of the Dead, starring Dave Bautista, former WWF star turned actor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Army of the Dead review. Listen, your boy loves a good zombie movie. Love it, all right? I've seen them all. There's probably some out there that I haven't seen, some that slipped through the crack. But listen, if you know a great zombie movie, just DM me it. Just DM me it. I've seen at least everything I think that is out there and worth watching. There's a few out there that I'm just like, this is stupid. I love that I can just mute the mic. When I take a drink of water, it's great. Last Train to Busan, amazing. Peninsula, amazing. Kingdom on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, amazing. What was the other one? There's one based in Australia. It was a foreign one, amazing, with the dude that played, it wasn't Frodo, Bilbo in The Hobbit, amazing. But this is the review of The Army of the Dead. Starring Dave Bautista. He was the main actor in it, and directed by Zack Snyder. Here's the thing. Great storyline. Phenomenal storyline. Okay, it's something that was fresh. It was new. Obviously, patient zero. They were doing experiments. the military was. Car crash out in the middle of Nevada. Obviously, probably come from Area 51. Now Las Vegas is taken over by zombies. Here's the cool part. There is a patient zero, also known as Zeus. He camps up at this hotel. I think, what is the one that, the Greek one where Zeus is out front of it? They basically get a fortress, if you will, a kingdom. And they're very smart. There's not two. There's more than two. They're alphas, where if the main guy bites you, you turn into an alpha, which is a very fast, strong, smart zombie. And then if one of the alphas bites someone else, they turn into like kind of a dumb zombie. So there's different levels of zombies. Some are the stupid Walking Dead ones. Some are smart, I Am Legend style. Okay. I thought the film was great. I thought the storyline was great. I watched it in 2 parts because this is a 2.5 hour film. I watched it in 2 parts. The first hour and a half is phenomenal. Okay. It was setting up a storyline and playing it through very well. The only thing, the last hour, I feel like the story kind of unraveled. I feel like we didn't get enough. It feels like we had so much potential with this character development, and then it just petered off. It just fell apart at the end. They decided to kind of just kill everybody, okay, except for the one character, the daughter, who didn't contribute anything the entire film. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why did we even all these characters? Oh, there was one character who lived. Obviously, I'm spoiling this right now. Vanderho. We're gonna go with Vanderho. But I just felt like there was so much more we could have done with this storyline. We created all these cool characters. They brought everything different to the table. But it just, when it wraps up with everybody dying, and I get that it's like the cynical zombie movie where like the hero doesn't win in the end. I mean, that's what the hero did win because they won at the end of the day. But it wasn't done in a satisfying way. Do you remember Insidious? One of my favorite endings in a horror movie, because I love that they went against the good guys won. At the end of that movie, Insidious, the old ghost lady actually took over the husband's body, and then that's the end of the movie. And it's like, oh, Insidious 2 coming on up. Also, Paranormal Activity. You remember the end of that one? How the girl just comes straight at the camera. She didn't come at the camera, if you know what I'm saying. It was, hey, how you guys doing? Stupid. But I just thought that this film could have been so much more. And here's where I let it off the hook. Originally, the part of Tig Notaro was supposed to be played by Crystalia. If you don't know who Crystalia is, you check out Google, okay? Shout out to Crystalia. Comedian who was canceled, and they replaced him in the movie. But they didn't go reshoot everything with this new actress. They decided that they were going to green screen her into every single shot in the movie. So she went on a set by herself, a complete green screen, and was green screened into every scene. So at some parts when she's talking versus other people, it's very clunky because they're literally in different places. It was just a weird outcome. And I know that it probably changed the last hour of the movie because all these storylines and maybe these shots that they had that they didn't go refilm, they could no longer use them anymore because Crystalia was in all of them. And I feel like they just gave her Crystalia's lines, but she didn't execute them the way that Crystalia executed them, which it pissed me off while I'm watching it because every time she spoke, I wanted to punch a pillow. Okay? I wanted to punch a pillow. And it felt like it felt flat. But overall, listen, before I shit on this completely, great first hour and a half. Great ending. I love that it was open ending where it's like now the movie's going to continue on. We're not going to have an alpha. I don't know if he was bit by the alpha. I don't remember. but I don't know if he's going to be able to make more alphas. We don't know if the virus is going to change, and maybe it's a different story. But I just wish they would have kept Bautista alive, the main character of the movie, because it feels like when everybody dies except for a character you don't really care about, it feels like a movie where it's like, have you ever seen the Family Guy episode where the whole episode and then they go back in time before it even happened and they're like, oh, never mind. And then it's like, wait, so did any of that even happen? It's like, you like piss off the audience. You're like, well, what was the point? What was the point? And it's also weird because the movie also was about just them going into this place to get money. I like a zombie movie that has more dire circumstances. Like, I want that fucking world to be ending. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be on the verge of just desolation. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Just forget it. But more of like the end of the world stuff, you know? Miss me with that. I'm supposed to care about this one family situation. That's like, I only care about those movies when it's like a very serious drama. And we're like, we're going to study these characters and it's going to be such crazy character development. Like, where you care so much. You got to lean so hard on that character development if you're going to try to get the audience to care so much about just this group of people's circumstances, not the entire world. Because once you like bring the entire world into the picture, it's like, oh yeah, this is serious no matter what. You kind of get a pass to the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? But ladies and gentlemen, listen.
It has been great having you for this episode. Okay? As Evan's conscious, I thank you. I love you. No, baby, trust me, I love you.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Okay? Listen, we're just figuring this shit out. But I just want to tell you guys, I love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, the likes, the comments. It all means the world to me. And remember, no matter what, I still love you.
Even though I already said that.